Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea. If you're new here, if you're not new, welcome back. I appreciate you coming back. If you are new, subscribe, like, comment, all those things. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, across all social media. I am at CCSUAREZ. Also linked down below is the link to my podcast channel, Beauty and the Dad Bod. Go ahead and subscribe to that so that you will be alerted when we do put out the first episode. By the time I post this video, I'm not sure if that one will be up, but go subscribe so you don't miss it either way. Now, as y'all know, I am extremely outspoken about the psychology aspect of multi-level marketing companies and the reps that are in multi-level marketing companies. Now, a lot of people don't like the fact that I do go so hard for the individuals that are in multi-level marketing companies and don't just stick with criticizing the company. But the thing is that the company isn't necessarily the one recruiting people. Sure, they're rewarding people for recruiting others, but it is the independent salespeople, the distributors, who are spreading these lies, the misinformation, manipulating others for their own financial gain, and so on and so forth. So I think that both sides need to be held accountable, obviously. Now, of course, I don't want to say the one thing that all YouTubers say, this is my most requested video. But to be honest, this is. And the topic at hand, as you can tell by the title of this video, is a heavy one, and it has to do with super spreader events within MLMs, their conventions in general, and the fact that most people in MLMs are extremely anti-vax. Now, if you are anti-vax, don't click off the video. Just keep listening. Just keep watching. I think it will be very interesting for you to share your opinions or thought process or anything like that at the end of this video. After watching the entire video, not just after hearing me say that I am pro-vax, that I got vaxxed, and that I trust science. I'm sure we just got rid of a lot of people. So the first topic that I want to touch on here is the conventions in general. Why do they have them? What's the deal with these conventions? We've all seen how culty they can be, and just the theatrics and just how absolutely ridiculous they are. Now, usually when you go to a convention, I have been to multiple conventions, you are going to network with people in your industry to make connections. And typically that results in you doing more business, and it really generates more business for your company. Now, of course, I can only speak to the ones that I have been to, but a lot of times they are very fun. There's different events, there's happy hours, there might be a theme, there's dinners you can go to, there's workshops, there's usually, a silent auction. Those are my favorite. There's panels, there's just a bunch of stuff. But typically it's not just one company doing it. It's an entire, really an industry, if that makes sense. It's not, for instance, Monat putting it on. It'll be an association for a certain industry. For instance, the FTBA in Florida is the Florida Transportation Builders Association, something like that. I don't know. We used to go every single year when I was little, and it was awesome. It was my favorite. And typically my dad would, make new connections, and it would bring in a good amount of business for him, which was great. But there, of course, were people from all over Florida, and then from different businesses within construction and road building, just a whole bunch of nerdy civil engineers, basically. But now within MLM, it's just people within that MLM. And of course, you could say, oh, well, what about GoPro, which is the network marketing convention that Eric War puts on, who is a network marketing guru, if you will, cult leader, in my opinion. He's so cringy. Now, sure, that is more network marketing centric, more industry centric, but that's not what we're discussing. We're discussing the conventions that these MLM companies put on themselves. Now, you can speak to anyone who has been in an MLM before. You can talk to people who are currently still in one, but either way, someone who has been to one of these, which I've seen enough footage to know. We've all seen enough footage to know. This past weekend, the Monat one, so cringy. But many times it's to get you hyped. It's basically a big Zoom call, if you think about it that way. You know how on their Zoom calls, it's extremely culty. It's a lot of self-help things. It's a lot of, if you believe it, you can do it. No excuses, blah, blah, blah. we're gonna drop this new product, so please scream and lose your absolute minds and really embarrass yourself by posting that on social media. It's a shampoo, calm down. But that's the thing, is to get them very excited, to keep them in the MLM. Now, a lot of times you'll hear uplines say, it's crucial for your business that you come to these. Why? Why is it crucial for my business? None of my clients are going to be there. No one that I can sell to is going to be there. And that's my point, is that it really is a closed market, or one of my many points I'm going to get to. It's really a closed market, and the people you're selling to aren't there. It's your team. Why do you need to network with your team and the people who are your competition? That doesn't really make sense. Now, another reason why MLMs do these types of conventions and conferences and summit, other than keeping the people in, making them feel all these good feelings, is money. A lot of money. They spend so much money to go to these things. It's absolutely ridiculous. It is such a cash grab, and it's absolutely insane. These distributors are going to buy merch. They're going to buy new products while they're there. Even the ticket to the convention itself is pretty expensive. And like I said, they make so much money. It is absolutely crazy. And again, that just shows it is a closed market. The distributors are the main customers and the main percentage of those sales and of the sales revenue for a multi-level marketing company. Now, before we get into the whole super spreader events that have happened this year with MLMs, and I'm sorry that it sounds like I'm chuckling, which I kind of am, because it's just so ridiculous and it's so sad. And when I am uncomfortable, I laugh, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, it's absolutely horrific and it's so sad. Absolutely so sad. There's a fucking plane going by and it's so loud. Like I said, before we get into that, I want to go over the fuel that really just ignites that fire. Now, I personally can't stand blanket statements, over generalizations. That's, of course, why I always try to use protective language, one of the many reasons. But let me just give a quick few little disclaimers. We are not even going to be talking about politics in this video. No, this is a public health issue and it should not be politicized at all. This is science. There are crazy people on both sides, and if you start making ridiculous accusations, or if you're spreading false information in my comment section, you will be blocked. And know that it is not me creating an echo chamber. That is me getting rid of harmful misinformation that has cost people their lives. Okay, I think those are the only little disclaimers that I want to make, because of course, whenever we talk about this topic, it's going to be, people are going to be absolutely fucking insane. It does not matter. Now let's talk about undue influence. Now, y'all have heard me talk about undue influence a lot on my channel and on Instagram, and just basically you've heard me talk about it mostly more than 7 times. Now, undue influence is influence by which someone is induced to act in a way that they usually wouldn't by their own free will. Now, I've had many people message me and say things like, oh, this person's a psychiatrist, or this person's a doctor, this person's a nurse, this person's a professor, this person has a business degree, or just in general, this person's so smart. How could they fall for this? Or how could they believe this fallacy? And for those of you who don't know, fallacy is one of my favorite words, and it is a mistaken belief, especially one based on unsound argument. Basically, all of the misinformation that we're seeing with MLMs. Now, when you are under someone else's influence, not only the influence of your upline, but the influence of the entire organization, of this opportunity, this dream, this false reality, you are going to start believing these fallacies of, it doesn't matter about the statistics, the constant failure rates. The people who are pointing these facts out to me are just haters, and those facts are wrong, which facts are facts. They can't be wrong. Or one of my personal favorites that I heard recently is TikTok and other social media platforms that are taking down MLM distributors' posts are just out to get them because they are paid by the government, and the government knows that network marketing is the best way for people to make money, and they don't get their share of the money. You pay more in taxes when you're in an MLM. When you're in an MLM, you're a 1099 contracted independent employee, salesperson, whatever, you're paying more in taxes. So yes, the government is getting actually more money from you. Now, denying science isn't new to MLMs or to cults, pyramid schemes in general. MLMs have been doing this for years. They've been making ridiculous claims for years. For instance, Young Living. Many distributors in Young Living make the most egregious claims. The Kangen water people make the most ridiculous claims. The Pruvit ketones people making the most egregious claims, saying that drinking this powder is going to put you in ketosis within an hour. That's literally not how our bodies and how our kidneys work. But think about it. If you are going to be believing these lies and these just crazy claims that you're applying the MLM, that this industry is telling you basically, why stop there? People who are in cults, Scientology, Grant Cardone, he is a Scientologist. I just learned that, and you bet your ass I'm going to be doing a full deep dive on him because it's disgusting. And yes, that's a cult. And also Jehovah's Witness. I apologize if I have any Jehovah's Witness followers. I'm really not trying to offend you. All signs point to cult. And then also with Mormonism as well. All signs point to cult. If you are encouraged to shun someone once they leave your organization or your religion, that's just one of the little check boxes of, is this a cult? Yeah. And of course that happens in MLMs too. But people who are in these types of organizations, these types of environments are more susceptible to joining MLMs. And then vice versa. People who are in MLMs are more susceptible to joining a legitimate cult. And when I say they're more susceptible to it, I don't mean because, they're surrounded by people who might be involved in it. What I'm referring to, I mean, it's all about their thinking. Their mind is more susceptible because they're already believing, they're already under someone else's influence. They're already believing things that are completely false and very easily debunked. And many of them, unfortunately, do have this, it's us against the world. And, we have this secret ingredient and they just don't get us type of mentality. So while it is very disappointing to see MLM reps who just completely denounce science and COVID in general, or the COVID vaccine, or any regulations, it's not shocking at all. For instance, there's a lot of people high up in Monat who absolutely hate dentists. I am not sure why, and I find it so hilarious. I mean, I actually do know why. It's because they think that allegedly that they think that dentists are corrupt and that they are trying to poison you and that you should only see a holistic dentist. I'm sorry, but when someone says holistic dentist, I'm thinking that they're going to be like poking your teeth with sticks and dirt. Like, you need fluoride, okay? So now this brings us to 2020. A shit show of a year, right? Most of us had pretty crazy years. We were able to see the light through it, thank goodness. And this year has been worse. And the reason why I say that it's been worse is because in 2020, there were the stay-at-home orders. Companies couldn't have these big events, but now they can, and people are so antsy to just go out, not care, get back to life, get the economy back. I understand that part. I get that. But here's the thing. If you are absolutely not going to get vaccinated, if you are absolutely not going to wear a mask, if you are not going to take the steps to protect yourself and others, then don't leave your house. Don't do it. Now, there are many events that have been canceled still. There are a few events that I was really looking forward to this year that were back on and then have actually been canceled, which stinks. But the thing is that most MLMs can't survive without this type of event. They can't survive without the revenue that they get from their employees, from their distributors coming to this event. Unfortunately, after seeing, all the craziness and all the hype and all the fancy reels they put together of all this bullshit and the celebrating success and blah, 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 that's not what it is. It's just a marketing opportunity for the distributors as well, because then of course they, do get some more people to sign up on their team. Reps and MLMs can say all day long, oh, well, these big companies don't care about you. They just see you as a number and your employer doesn't care about you. Many employers still have people working from home. Not all of them, I get that, but many of them do because they don't make money off their employees. So these MLMs are risking their distributors' lives to have these conventions just to make money off of them. And that is horrible. It's disgusting. Now let's fast forward to 2021. Present day. Yeah, I'm here too. Welcome. Nice to see ya. I'm tired as well. It's fine. We'll get through it. The first clusterfuck to really kick off all of this outrage was the paparazzi accessories. The $5 jewelry that is disgusting. It was their convention that they had in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a hub. It is a hub for COVID. And as of today, as I'm filming this video, according to my sources who have been investigating this quite closely since their convention happened, there have been over 12 deaths caused by COVID that people contracted at that event. And I will have linked down below a bunch of information about that too. Paparazzi has been blocking people. They have been firing some of their reps for speaking about it. And that's disgusting. They say that this industry and this company cares about them, but they don't. A company that cared about you would not try to silence you. They would not block you for speaking up about it or sharing your experience or your story. They would not fire you for doing that. Most importantly, they wouldn't host a giant convention for their distributors who are their customers just to make money off of you. And now since the Paparazzi convention, in my opinion, I think that other MLMs and other MLM reps and teams and all them have really tried to be more hush-hush about it if their reps or anyone on their teams get sick at any of their conventions, because Pruvit had a convention as well. They had a very, very large convention. Now, many of the top reps at Pruvit are extremely anti-vax and think that canned water will heal tumors. So don't even get me started on that. It is fucking crazy. And now I don't personally know how many people had contracted COVID from the Pruvit convention or how many people had died. If any did, I really pray that no one did, obviously. And then it is too soon to tell from the Monat convention, because typically you don't feel the symptoms until, I want to say like 3 or 4 days after you contract it. I mean, with the Delta variant, it probably is a little bit sooner, because that shit, it hits you harder, it hits you faster, and it takes you out faster too. It's freaking crazy. Now, this really is a situation where the company is definitely to blame, but also the reps are as well. Not only spreading misinformation as always, but not protecting themselves. If you're gonna go to a huge event like this, you're not gonna get vaccinated? Like what? For instance, let's look at the Lollapalooza music festival that was in Chicago this year. Now, last year, it was canceled. And of course, that's an event that brings a lot of money to their city. For instance, here in Tampa, we have the Gasparilla Festival, and it's so much fun. There's, the music festival as well. There's the art festival. There's like 5 parades, and it brings in so much money for our area. Thank God we had the Super Bowl last year, but it brings in every single year so much money to South Tampa in general, but the Tampa area overall. It was canceled last year. We're all hoping that it's not canceled this year. But of course, I believe that if you want to go, you should show either a negative test or preferably proof of vaccination. Now with Lollapalooza, there were almost 400,000 people there, I believe. There were a lot of people. However, about 90% of them were vaccinated. There were a few breakthrough cases, about 200, compared to almost 400,000 people. That's nothing. And of course, it can be expected, but that isn't considered a super spreader event. And think about it. It's because of those people being vaccinated. And a breakthrough case typically means that you've been vaccinated and you tested positive for COVID. And there are many articles that even say regarding the Lollapalooza festival that the symptoms were mild and there weren't any deaths. Unlike Paparazzi. And again, I'm sorry for chuckling, but it's just so uncomfortable and so sad. And honestly, I know some people are going to get mad about this, but it's hard for me to feel bad for the people who passed away and contracted COVID at these events, at these super spreader conventions, because it's preventable. Either don't go or get vaccinated. That's all you got to do. It's super, super simple, actually. It's very simple. Also, if y'all want to see an amazing video on really this topic in general, go to Savannah Marie's page. She's always linked down below, and she did a great video on this topic as well. Grab the tissues. Grab a glass or a bottle of wine, because you are going to cry when you watch it. I am about to cry even just thinking about this topic. So it's a very good video. You should watch Savannah Marie's video. Anyways, what I was trying to say is that I do, however, feel bad for their loved ones who lost someone, and it could have been prevented, very easily preventable. Yet people are dying because they are under someone else's influence. They are believing these fallacies all for someone else's financial gain. The network marketing industry, the direct selling industry, multi-level marketing companies, all of them, I don't care what you want to call it, the social selling industry, it's not social selling. They do not care about their distributors at all. They don't. And this year clearly shows that they don't care if you die. Money is more important to them than your life, than their distributors' lives. They do not care. I need to like stop and breathe because I can feel myself about to just have a breakdown. Okay. I say this all the time, but what's the motive? What's the company's motive for still having these events? Money. What is their motive for encouraging, perpetuating, and just pushing these false claims of, oh, well, we have a scientific board. Yeah, who works for you? I'm not going to believe anything that you're saying about this product unless these tests are done by a third party that aren't paid for, like paid by you. What are you talking about? I could go on, and I feel like I'm just rambling at this point, but the reason why a lot of these companies use all of these cult tactics is because of money. They want to keep you in. So if appealing to the QAnon or the anti-vax crowd is what they have to do to try to rope in people who are more susceptible to believing the misinformation, that's what they're going to do. And that's really what this is all about. If someone's going to believe that a product that an MLM sells can cure cancer, even though it's never been tested, and all you have is anecdotal evidence of just some person saying that this happened, that doesn't count. And they think that the FDA is out to get them because they have the secret and Big Pharma is trying to murder you. Don't get me wrong. A lot of things in our government and in our country are very corrupt. Yes, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. So of course, the person who believes all of that is going to have no problem believing the crazy conspiracies that a vaccine is going to make you infertile or make you have miscarriages or give you, I don't fucking know, that it's going to kill you. That's not how this works. And you know what? I said that I was going to debunk a bunch of misinformation at the end of this video, but I am already getting really worked up and emotionally, I just can't do that to myself right now. So I'm going to link a very credible website down below that literally debunks everything. And it's from the CDC. So you can go ahead and read that below. There's a lot of great websites, but that's the one that I'm going to choose to believe. Because why? Because it's backed by science and studies. And that's literally their job. I mean, come on, that's who we turn to when the zombie apocalypse happens, right? Might take us a while to get there. It took Rick Grimes and the cast of The Walking Dead, like what, 3 seasons to get there? Was it 3 seasons? Like it was the 2nd season. I don't remember. Ugh, that was such a sad episode. All right, so that's all I gotta say for now. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I know there's going to be so many people in the comments, like always, saying things like, oh my gosh, actually this and that, and I don't approve of this and that. Well, what the fuck do you think they're going to do when people aren't getting vaccinated? What do you think they're going to do? Of course, they're going to try to mandate it so that people will get fucking vaccinated so that we can end this. Like, obviously that's going to happen. If you don't want there to be mandates, then just fucking get vaccinated. Just do it. I did it. I'm fine. I'm not 1,000,000% normal, but I wasn't 1,000,000% normal before. Everyone in my family's vaccinated. All my close friends are vaccinated. And I don't want to be around anyone who isn't because I don't want to get sick. Yes, I know I can still get sick, but guess what? It's kind of like birth control. You can still get pregnant on birth control, but your chances are way lower. Okay? Okay. Cannot wait for the comments on this fucking video. So be on the lookout for the Monat gals getting sick. I'm sure a lot of them will try to hide it. There have been a lot of high-ranking people in other MLMs that did hide it and then only said it later on. But I really hope that no one does get sick. I don't want anyone to have to deal with that. I don't want anyone in MLMs to not be alive. But again, it's something that can be completely avoided. I don't even know if I'm going to put this video up. I don't think I want to deal with the comments. Honestly, I just won't even look at them. Oh well. Okay. All right. So I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, night, weekend, whenever you're watching this. Remember to set boundaries, stay assertive. Above all, stay spicy. That sign says stay spicy. You see it? You better stay spicy. And also go over to the Beauty and the Dad Bod podcast channel and subscribe. Subscribe, like, comment, all that. I will, like I said, have the podcast link down below. I'm very excited about it. We're working very hard on it. I'm doing a whole lot. Also, I'm doing Halloween looks over on my Instagram. Y'all probably saw. It makes me really, really happy. And I love being able to really spend like more time and money and like just more time being creative, especially with the podcast. It makes my heart happy. So hope y'all have a great rest of your whatever, and I will see you in my next video, which because of this video will most likely be a reading hate comments video. All right. Okay, bye.